Shabbat Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Sabbath, peaceful Sabbath to everybody that's tuned in today. We thank you for tuning in with us today. Thank you for joining us today. Got a great message for you today. And I hope that you have been a great ambassador for the Most High's kingdom on this week. I see you, Sister Sheila, the Jacksons. Unc, I see you. VJ, Auntie, we see you. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Woo, the Jacksons in the house. Oh boy, I see we got 12 already in the house today. So we ain't got to waste no time. I said, everybody, they on time for this 666 class. I don't blame them. We all want to know what it is. Is Brother Ronnie claiming to know, to absolutely know what it's going to be in this time? No, he's not saying that, but he's going to show you. He's going to show you that it's in the scriptures back in the day. We're going to show you. But we're going to go ahead and pray. We ain't going to waste no time. I'm going to turn this music off. Thank you for joining us today, everybody that's in here. And I see we got 12 in here, 11 now. And I see 2 likes. Man, smash that like button, folks. It helps the ministry out a lot. YouTube has an algorithm, and the more likes and shares and views you get, you pop up in people's feeds. So if you can, hit that like button. If you don't want to, don't. But, do know that it is helping the ministry out when you do that. That's one way you can help the ministry. There's a lot of ways you can help the ministry. Tuning in, donating. rapministries.net if you want to donate. No pressure, whatever you want to do. But what we're going to do is we're going to pray. And then we're going to get into the scripture. Let me decrease that the Most High's word may what? Increase. All right, let me make sure it's on the screen correctly. How you doing? 3 Rika 112. How you doing? Praise the Most High. Thank you for joining us today. But we're going to go ahead and pray, and we're going to get into the scriptures. Abba, Father, we just thank you for today, your holy Sabbath, the day that you put in creation millennia ago. We just thank you right now for all your people that came to hear your most holy word. And we thank you that today your word will go forth and you will speak through me to speak to your people. Father, we just thank you right now that only you will get all the honor, all the glory, all the praise, due your holy, magnificent name. And we ask this in your son, Yeshua's name. Amen. But let's get into this word. Everybody want to know, inquiring minds, everybody want to know. They want to know, everybody, the mark of the beast. You go to the store, mark of the beast, we talking about 666 today. They go to the store and you buy a pack of gum and some Coca-Cola, whatever you drink, a bag of chips, and they come out to 666. Throw something else on there. You get your license plate tag, you see, oh, I don't want that tag. We know it's evil. But it's various things out there as to what the mark of the beast is. It's going to be a chip. It's that energy drink. It's Walt Disney 666. Yes, they're evil. It's gonna be some on your forehead. It's gonna be some in your hand. All of that stuff. Some people say it's Islam. But nobody knows what in the end time is going to be. But I'm going to show you what it could be. And where it came from. But today's title is King Solomon and the 666 connection. Now, Brother Ronnie, don't you know that King Solomon was the you're welcome. And all praises to the Most High. 3 Rika 112. All praises to the Most High. But King Solomon was the wisest man in the world. The Bible said he was the wisest. Yes, he was. Until Yeshua came on the scene. But I'm going to tell you today, look at that, 666. There is nothing new under the sun. Is 666 something? Yes. Then it ain't new. There is nothing new under the sun. And we're going to read Ecclesiastes chapter 1, 9 through 11. Ironically, guess who wrote it? Solomon. And Solomon wrote Ecclesiastes after the Most High had came to him and told him, I'm going to take the kingdom from you. Not while you live, because for the sake of your father David, I ain't going to take it. I'm not going to take it from you. I'm not going to do it when you live, while you live. But when you die, I'm going to rend the kingdom. But Ecclesiastes 1, 9 through 11, Solomon said, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? No, it's not. It hath been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. So guess what he said in verse 1? He said that thing that have been, this stuff didn't happen before. There ain't nothing new. Think you got something new? You don't have nothing new. Because I got a great idea. All the ideas come from the Most High. All of the good ideas. But let's go to Proverbs 9:10, because to understand the 666, you have to understand the importance of the Most High's commandments. But Proverbs 9:10, it says the fear of the Most High is the beginning of what? Wisdom. And the knowledge of the holy is what? Understanding. You can turn to Psalms 111 says this too. It says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that keep or do the commandments of the Most High. I'm just trying to say, let's go to Exodus 20:18 through 20. These commandments are very important. Every message Brother Ronnie do, it all, no matter what it is, it always goes full circle right back to them commandments. Even if it's a prosperity message, not like the prosperity that these so-called mega churches are doing, but just prosperity. But it always comes full circle back to keeping his commandments. We're going to show you that. And we're going to show you that it's going to go all, at the end of this message, you're going to see that it goes all the way full back to the beginning. All right, but let's keep it moving. And the people saw the thunderings and the lightning. Just when they got the commandments, and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. Let not God or Yah speak with us, lest we die. They got the 10, but it was supposed to be more than the 10. But they said, Moses, you go up there and you go get the rest. We don't want him to kill us. But watch what Moses said to them. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for God is come to prove you. He said, fear not, don't be scared. For God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that you what? That ye sin what? Not. Now, hold on, he said, don't be scared, but then be scared or fear. Two different fears, two different Hebrew words. We ain't got time to go and look behind them, but they are really closely related. But what's the fear of the Lord? That you what? That ye sin not. Well, what is sin? Transgression of the law. 1 John 3:4. He said, he who sins transgresses the law, for sin is transgression of the law. That's New Testament. But that ye what? Ye sin what? Not. Watch this. Deuteronomy 10, 12 to 13. Watch this. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? What does he require of you? But to what? Fear the Lord thy God. How? To walk in some of his ways. No, all his ways. And to what? Love him. To fear him is to love him. And to fear and love him is to walk in his ways. Not some of his ways, all of his ways, brothers and sisters. And to serve the Lord thy God with what? All thy heart. Always supposed to be in a heart thing. And with all thy soul. To what? To keep the commandments of the Most High, or the Lord, as some say, and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good, for your bad. No, for your good, for some time. No, for your good. Which ways do we keep? All of his ways. But we're going to look at something the Most High said to King David. You know, look at him, looking all red and ready. But I'm going to keep it moving. This is what he said to David. It says, now the days of King David drew nigh that he should die, and he charged Solomon his son, saying, he did what? He charged his son, telling him, this what you do. It says, David said, Solomon, I go the way of all the earth, meaning I'm finna die, boy. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. The Most High don't want no weak punks. Be some men, folks. I'm scared. No, he don't want no scary chickens. Verse 3, and keep the charge of the Lord thy God to do what? To walk. Same thing Moses said. He said to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies. How, son, as it is written in the law of Moses. He said, Solomon, son, I'm your father David, the one whose throne Christ is going to sit on. He said, what I want you to do? I want you to, let's read verse 3 again, and to keep the charge of the Most High. Keep the charge of Moses. No, the charge of Moses is the charge of the Most High. The Lord thy God to what? To walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgment and his testimonies. How? As it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whatsoever thou turneth thyself. What? But let's hold on. Verse 4, that the Lord may continue his word, which he spake concerning me, saying, watch this. If thy children take heed to thy way, David, if your children take heed to their way, to do what? To walk before me in truth. Go watch our video. What is truth? With all their heart and with all thy soul. Didn't we just hear Moses say this? There shall not fail thee, said he, a man to sit on the throne of Israel. If they keep the law according to how it is written in Moses, there will always be a man on the throne in Israel. Guess who coming back to sit on the throne? King Yeshua. When he comes back, he coming to sit on the throne. Because guess what? He's one of David's children. What, Brother Ronnie? You are blasphemous. I told somebody this before. I should have put this in here. But we're going to turn to Matthew 1:1 real quick. Real quick. You got an hour or so, don't you? Everybody, we got 7 days out of the week. The Most High only want 1 out of them 7, and we don't give it to him. This is Matthew 1:1, the book of the genealogy of Yeshua HaMashiach, or some say Jesus Christ, the son of David. He the son of David. He's the son of David. Then it says the son of Abraham. And Yeshua said, if you be Abraham's seed, you'll do the works of Abraham. Go watch our class, The Works of Abraham. I'm trying to tell you. And go watch The Greatest Story Never Told About Abraham, parts 1 and 2. Change your life, change your perspective. But Yeshua fits this right here. He's going to sit on the throne. But we're going to look at King Solomon, because today we're talking about King Solomon in the 666 connection. 1 Kings 3:1-14. Let's look about. We're going to stay in 1 Kings a lot today. We're going to see. You got to break this thing down. See, we don't like to read the Old Testament. We just want to read Matthew to Revelation. But people don't know that when you get to the New Testament, it assumes, the writers of the New Testament, they assume you have read the Old Testament. Because they don't do nothing but quote it up and down, left and right, all day. But let's go. And Solomon made affinity with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and took Pharaoh's daughter and brought her into the city of David until he had made an end of building his own house and the house of the Lord and the wall of Jerusalem round about. Only the people sacrificed in high places because there was no house built unto the name of the Lord until those days. So when they, instead of making sacrifices where they were supposed to, because the Most High didn't have a house, they were going on high. They were going to high places. But Solomon was going to solve that by how? Building a temple. Only the people sacrificed in high places because there was no house built unto the name of the Lord until those days. Watch this. And Solomon loved the Most High. But how did he love him? By walking in the statutes of David, his father, which we just showed you is nothing but what's wrote in the law of Moses. Only he sacrificed and burnt incense in the high places. And the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for that was a great high place. 1,000 burnt offerings did Solomon offer upon that altar. In Gibeon, watch this. In Gibeon, the Most High appeared to Solomon in a dream by night and said, ask what I shall give thee. What you want, Solomon? He said, what you want? Ask what you want and I'll give it to you. So if you really want to know, this is a good lesson to learn how, if you want something from the Most High, what you got to do to get it. Right? But watch this. And Solomon said, thou hast showed unto thy servant David, my father, great mercy, according as he walked before thee in truth. And in truth in what? And in righteousness and in uprightness of heart with thee. And thou hast kept for him this great kindness, that thou givest him a son to sit on his throne as it is this day. And now, O Lord, my God, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David, my father, and I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or to come in. But watch this. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. Solomon said, give therefore thy servant and what? An understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between what? Good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people? Leaders in the body of Yeshua. This is what you need to be doing. You need to be trying to be a servant of what? Of an understanding heart. Stop trying to do it on your own and rely on the Most High. And the speech pleased the Lord, and Solomon had asked these things. And the Most High said unto him, Yah said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast thou asked for riches thyself, nor hast asked for the life of thine enemies, but hath asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. Or what? My word to give to the people. Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and an understanding heart, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee. And I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked. What you asking for? Riches? Lord, bless me. Lord, bless me. No, he wants you humble, folks. That's why Yeshua says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and these things shall be added unto you. He says, and I will also give thee that which thou hast not asked. What? Riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days. This is what it was supposed to have been. But there comes another king that is to come back and reassert himself and get on the throne. And if thou wilt, but he said, and if thou wilt walk in my ways to keep my statutes and my commandments as thy father David did walk, then I will lengthen thy days. Now, time out. Yeshua, God don't change. Yeshua don't change. But he told David this, and he told Moses this, he told Solomon this, and he told David this, but he told his young son Yeshua something else to give the people. Man, y'all better stop. And read your Bible. But we're going to skip ahead 2 chapters to 1 Kings, verses 1 through 5. I'm going to tell it, Auntie, Don't you worry about that. I don't care who leave, who come, who go, who in, who out, who up, who down. I'm going to tell it like it T-I is. Tis. And Hiram, watch this, and Hiram, king of Tyre, all you people that's in this Masonic stuff, King Tyre Lodge, you better get your behind out of that stuff. You have no idea what you are into. And Hiram, king of Tyre, sent his servants unto Solomon, for he had heard that they had anointed him king in the room of his father, for Hiram was ever a lover of David. That's right, Sister Sheila. Peace of mind makes more room for understanding, knowledge, and wisdom. I'm telling you, get this world bunking junk out of your head. It's messing us up, taking our peace, stealing our joy. We in this rat race every day. Focus on heavenly things like Colossians tell you. All right, but watch this. And Solomon sent to Hiram, saying, Thou knowest how that David my father could not build a house unto the name of the Lord his God, for the wars which were about him on every side, until the Lord put them under the soles of his feet. But now the Lord my God hath given me rest on every side, so that there is neither adversary nor evil occurrent. And behold, I purpose to build an house unto the name of the Lord my God. And the Most High, and the Lord spake unto David, my father, saying, Thy son, whom I will set upon thy throne in thy room, or in your place, he shall build a house unto my name. Y'all hang on, because we finna get what they call ways deep into this 666. But first, so what was King Solomon? Solomon was king over all Israel. And when he built this temple, we're going to see what he said. 2 Chronicles 6:31 through 33. This is a prayer that Solomon is saying. He said that, I just get middle of the prayer, but I'm starting here. That they who, Israel, may fear thee, to walk in thy ways, so long as they live in the land which thou gavest unto our father. But watch what he says. Moreover, concerning the stranger, which is not of thy people Israel, but is come from a far country for thy great name's sake, and thy mighty hand, and thy stretched out arm, if they come and pray in this house, this new temple that I just built, you can go see Matthew 21:13, where Yeshua was saying that his father's house should be a house of prayer for all nations. But verse 33, he said, Solomon said, Then hear thou from heaven, even from thy dwelling place, and do according to all that the stranger calleth to thee for, that all people of the earth may know thy name and fear thee, and doeth thy people as doth thy people Israel, and may know that this house which I have built is called by thy name. Solomon, when he built the temple, he said, Most High, strangers, they can come here too, and they can pray, and they can learn about you. That's the job of the Israelite, folks. That's the job of the Israelite, to get it to everybody else. The Most High cast everybody out and chose Israel, but Israel was supposed to get all of the people back. But we got certain people out here, racist Hebrew Israelites out here, saying it's only for black people. You better get out of here with that. Get to your job and get these nations converted. But we're gonna get back into the 666. You know, I always gotta sneak that in. We reaching all people ministries. Reaching all people. I can call it reaching all Gentile rag ministries. Reaching all nations. Oh boy. Watch this. But look at all of this stuff, Illuminati and Freemason. We're not gonna get into all that today, but you see this star, the seal of Solomon, and all of that. Can't read that in the Bible. The Star of David. Man, y'all better get out of here with that. But watch this, Revelation 13:11 through 18, because we're gonna go the proper place where we see 666. Revelation 13:11 through 18, and I'm gonna show you how this relates to Solomon. Watch this. Revelation 13:11, and I beheld another beast. Another beast? What beast? The beast we in right now. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake like a dragon. Got horns like a lamb, but they speak like a dragon. They look like the Most High stuff. They similar to what the Most High like to do, but they speak like the dragon of the devil. And whoever this Antichrist is, he exercises all the power of the first beast that was before him. What was the first beast? Babylon. And causing the whole earth and them which dwelleth therein to worship the first beast. All of this Christmas, Easter, all of that stuff, all of this stuff goes all the way back to the first beast, which started with Nimrod. And causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. We talking about Rome, by the way, right here. Rome. They are the beast the other beast that has arisen, and everybody is under them right now. And he doth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Watch this. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. See, the final idol that's coming, it's going to be able to talk. It's going to be able to say you did. Oh, yeah, they didn't worship me today. But watch this. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their what? In their right hand, or in their what? In their right hand or in their forehead. And that no man might buy or sell, save he have that mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, or 666. That's the number we're going to be talking about today, and we're going to show you that it ain't new. But it says but do you know that look at this, that the beast has a mark, which is 666, and the Most High also has a mark. Let's look at his mark real quick in Revelation 9:4. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only harm who? But only harm those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. Beast gonna have a seal. The Most High also is gonna have a seal. We're gonna show you the mark of God, and we're gonna show you the mark of the beast today. But hold on, let me show you something real quick. We're gonna look up that word seal in Revelation 9, and then we're gonna look up that word mark in Revelation 13, 16 through 17, which is talking about the 666 mark. But let's look at the mark of God real quick. And that word is sphragus. It's a seal. The seal placed upon books. A signet ring. The inscription or impression made by a seal of the name of God and Christ stamped upon their foreheads, that which anything is confirmed, proved, authenticated as by a seal, a token or proof. Token or proof. Watch this. Down at the bottom, sphragus, a signet, fencing in or protecting from misappropriation. By implication, the stamp impressed as a mark of privacy or genuineness, literally or figuratively. If you are in the Most High, you have his mark on you, on your forehead. What? I can't see it. Let's keep it moving. Hold on. Let's look at Mark in Revelation. Mark in Revelation. Let's look at this. It is charagma. It says mark, graven, a stamp. Didn't the other one just say that too? It says an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. The mark branded upon horses, things carved, sculpture, graven work, or idolatrous image, a scratch. What does it say? A scratch or etching, stamp. Of what? Stamp, just like over here on the other side. Of it says as a badge of what? Servitude, or sculptured figure, statue, graven, or mark. The Most High has a mark, and the beast also has a mark. But we got to get back to King Solomon. We'll get back to that in a second. But 1 Kings 10, 14 through 20. Let's look at Mr. Solomon. Now, the way to go, and I don't know how true this is. I never actually went and counted all of the names in the Bible, but I have heard those say that Solomon is the 666th man mentioned in the Bible. Ooh. One day I'll go and check it. But, for right now, it's just a tradition. But it says, now the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 600, 6 talents of gold. Or what's that? 6, 6, 6. That's how much Solomon taxed, folks. That's why his kingdom, when Solomon died and his son Rehoboam take over, he continued to ask for taxes in that amount, and that's what broke the kingdom up. Greed, riches always break every kingdom up. Looks like I ain't gonna get into that. But watch this, verse 15. Beside that, he had merchantmen and the traffic of spice and merchants, and of all the kings of Arabia, and of all the governors of the country. And Solomon made 200 targets of beaten gold, 600 shekels of gold went to one target. And he made 300 shekels of beaten gold, 3 pounds of gold went to one shield, and the king put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon. Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory and overlaid it with the best gold. Watch this. The throne had what? 6 steps. And at the top of the throne was round behind, and there was stays on either side of the place of the seat. And 2 lions stood beside the ways. So you had 12 lions, one on this end, one on the other end. So you got 6 steps. You got a lion here, a step. A lion here, a step. All the way up. 6 lions, 6 steps, 6 lions. 6, 6, 6. We're going to show you some of the stuff Solomon was into. 2 Chronicles 9:13. Watch this. This is a second instance it says it's in the Bible. 2 Chronicles 9:13. Now the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 600, 6 talents of gold. And then and I just told you about Rehoboam, his son, Solomon's son, after him, when the kingdom split and got tore up like the Most High had said. Watch this, 1 Kings 12:4. Thy father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore make thou grievous service of thy father, and his heavy yoke which he has put on us lighter, and we will serve thee. They talking to Rehoboam. Rehoboam did not heed these people. The prophet told him, do what they say, they'll serve you forever. But he went to his friends and said, what y'all thinking? They was like, make it worse. But 666. So I'm gonna show you guys a picture of this is the picture of Solomon's I don't know if you can see it real good. This is a picture of Solomon's throne right here. 6 lions, 6 steps, and I don't know if you can see the other line, but you can see these other pictures. But then I have a closer one. This is one you can see a little bit better. This is how it was. 6 lions, 6 steps, 6 more lions, 12 lions, and all 6 steps. 6, 6, 6. Money, women, cars, gold, women, all of that. Money, women, cars. That's what rule our nation. You watch this old hip hop stuff, and if you into hip hop, get out of hip hop. That stuff wicked. It ain't doing nothing but tore our culture up. Robbing, killing, shooting, looting, and polluting. Money, women, cars, gold, and all the gold, women, horses. But the Most High, he made. If you were going to be king of Israel, he made some rules for that king. One of the rules was, do not hoard silver and gold for yourself. Do not multiply horses for yourselves. Do not multiply women/wives for yourselves. Oh, we're going to read it. I can't just tell you and don't read it to you. Deuteronomy 17:14 through 20. I'm telling you, this Bible is better than empire. It's better than power. On the break room one day, Girl, this is a couple years back. Girl, I don't never miss Empire. I don't never miss Power. They knew all of the characters in Empire and Power. Then I started asking them some Bible characters, didn't know who they were. But you know, man, we got to stop all that mess and get back to these scriptures. Deuteronomy 17:14-20. Watch what the Most High said. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God hath given thee, and shall possess it, thou shalt dwell therein, and thou shalt say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among the children shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Only Hebrew Israelites are kings over Israel, just like Yeshua is going to be. He's an Israelite. What you think he going to run the kingdom by? American laws? Of course not. Don't be ridiculous. That's Balky Barta. But of course not. Don't be ridiculous. But watch what he said. He shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt. Today, they trying to take us back. All our people, when Black Panther came out, we lost our minds. Not knowing that the gods that the Black Panther paid to was Bast and Basset, Egyptian deities, who the Most High took us out of Egypt and say, don't go back, don't do nothing that they do, but we trying to go back. We got brothers and sisters that went to Egyptology now. Listening to folks like Ray Hagins, who was a preacher, now he gone. He teaching this stuff, consciousness. Trying to take us back to Egypt where the Most High took us from. You better stop. And most of these Egyptologists, people don't even know what they talking about. The Bible was wrote by a white man. No, it wasn't. It was wrote by a white man. Okay. The Book of the Dead and the Papyrus of Ani, all of that stuff was translated by white men too. Why are you reading that? But let me keep it going. But he shall not, I see you, all praises to the Most High, but he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt. To the end that he should multiply horses, for as much the Lord have said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way. Neither shall ye what? Multiply wives to him. He multiply wives to himself, that his heart not turn away. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. Verse 18. And it shall be when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write a copy of this law in a book, out of which is before the priests and the Levites. And it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life. You're supposed to read the Bible all the days of your life, not every other day, every day. You better ask my wife. I'm in the book every day. And it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord his God, to keep all the words of this law and these statutes, to what? To do them. Did you see the word do? That his heart be not lifted up above his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, and that now he turn not aside from the commandment to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in the kingdom, he and his children, in the midst of what? Israel. Let's go to 1 Kings 10:26-29. Watch this, because we got to show you Solomon multiplying horses to himself. And Solomon gathered together chariots and horsemen, and he had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horsemen, whom he bestowed in the cities for chariots, and with the king at Jerusalem. And the king made silver to be in Jerusalem as stones. He made silver to be as many rocks as you have. He got y'all better go look. And so we ain't gonna even talk about Solomon's the Most High temple. You go read about when Solomon built his house. Man, he threw parties. He had monkeys and apes shipped in, man. Everything was curtains made out of gold, floor made out of gold. Man. Better than Empire and Power, better than General Hospital. All my children want like to live. As the world, better than all that stuff. Better than all this reality TV. This Bible, which is reality. You need to make it your reality. Live your life according to this book. All of the book. And it says, and the king made silver to be in the Jerusalem as stones, and cedars made to be as the sycamores, and trees that are in vale for abundance. And Solomon had horses brought out of Egypt and linen yarn. The king's merchants received the linen yarn at a price. And a chariot came up and went out of Egypt for 600 shekels of silver, and a horse for 150. And so for all the kings of the Hittites and all the kings of Syria did they bring them out of the. He getting horses from everywhere. You get the horses in Israel ain't enough for you, Solomon. We said he said don't multiply horses. He also said don't multiply wives. Let's look at that. 1 King 11, 1-3. For Solomon loved many strange women. I like the Septuagint, the LXX, that means Septuagint. It says, and King Solomon was a lover of women. Loved them women. A lot of brothers today loving these women to their own detriment. Together with the daughters of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Edomites, the Zidonians, and the Hittites, Solomon was marrying all these women. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go into them. The Most High said don't go into them. What did Solomon do? He went into them. Neither shall they come in unto you. For surely, for the Moabites, how many generations did he say? He said at least 10. The Ammonites, 10. The Edomites, 3 generations. The Zidonian and the Hittites. No, you ain't never supposed to do it. All right. But what about today? Why didn't God want him mixing with these people? Because they will put your ways. They will bring their ways. And Israel was so weak that they used to do those people's ways. But anyway, on the bottom here, it says, and he had, how many wives did Solomon have? And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives, what his wives do? They turn away his heart. Yeah, Sister Sheila. That's right. That is right. We're going to go to Antiquities. You say, what's that? That's right here. The works of Josephus. He's a historian, a Hebrew historian in the 1st century. He chronicles the antiquities of the Jews, all of their past and the past wars that they did. You better go get this. All scholars use this book. So why can't I? Now watch this. Antiquities of the Jews 8.2.5. It says, now the sagacity or understanding and wisdom which God had bestowed on Solomon was so great that he exceeded the ancients. His understanding, his wisdom exceeded the ancients, in so much that he was no way inferior to the Egyptians, who were said to have been beyond all men in understanding. That's really why that's really why I just lost my train of thought. Oh, that's really why we trying to people going back to Egypt. They think that's understanding there. Yes, those people were brilliant and smart, but not smarter than God's people. But it says, nay, indeed, it is evident that their sagacity or understanding and wisdom was very much inferior to that of the kings. He also expelled and distinguished himself in wisdom above those who were most eminent among the Hebrews at that time for shrewdness. Those, were Ethan, Heman, Calcol, and Darda, and the sons of Mahol. He also composed books of odes and songs, 1,005. When you reading the Psalms and Proverbs and all that, David and his son Solomon wrote a lot of that stuff. Of parables and similitudes, 3,000. For he spake a parable upon every sort of tree, from the hyssop of the cedar And in like manner also about the beast, about all sorts of living creature, whether upon, he like Adam, knowing about all the creatures. It says, or in the seas or in the air. For he was not, you said, Brother Ronnie, why are we reading this? I'm trying to show you where Solomon was and where he went to. Or in the seas or in the air, for he was not unacquainted with any of the natures, nor omitted any inquiries about them, but described them all like a philosopher, and demonstrated his exquisite knowledge of several properties. The Most High also enabled him to learn that skill which expels demons, which is a science useful and sanative to men. He composed such incantations also by which distempers are alleviated. And he left behind him all manner of using exorcisms, by which, that's why when Christ cast out demons, they were saying he casting out demons by devils. What? We gonna compare Yeshua and Solomon today. We're gonna show you the difference between the two kings. And he left behind him the manner of using exorcism, by which they drive away demons so that they never return. And this method of cure is great force unto this day. Is a great force unto this day. I have seen a certain man of mine own country whose name was Eleazar, releasing people that were demonic. This is Josephus talking about somebody he know. In the presence of Vespasian and his sons and his captains and the whole multitude of his soldiers. You know, Vespasian over Rome. The manner of the cure is he put a ring that had a foot of one and all sorts of mentioned by Solomon to the nostrils of the demon, the person with the demon, after which he threw out the demon through his nostrils. And when the man fell down immediately, he adjured him to return unto him no more, making still mention of Solomon and reciting the incantations which he composed. And Eleazar would persuade and demonstrate to the spectators that he had such power. So we're going to skip ahead, but this is really where I want to go. We're going to just show you what Solomon was and what he went to. We're going to go to Antiquities. Now we're going to skip ahead to Antiquities 7.8.7.5. Watch this. But although Solomon became the most glorious of kings and the best beloved by God, and had exceeded in wisdom and riches those that had been rulers of the Hebrews before him, yet he did not persevere in this happiness till this happy state or blessed state till he died. Nay, what did he do? He forsook the observation of the laws of his fathers, and came to an end no way suitable to our foregoing history of him. He grew mad in his love of women, and had no restraint in himself in his lust. Nor was he satisfied with the women of his own country alone, but he married many wives out of foreign nations, the Sidonians, or Zidonians, same thing, the Tyrians, the Ammonites, and the Edomites, just like the Bible just said. And he transgressed the laws of Moses, which forbade Jews to marry any but those that were of their own people. He also began to worship their gods, which he did in order to the gratification of his wives and out of his affection for them. This very thing our legislator suspected, and so admonished us beforehand that we should not marry women of other countries, lest we should be entangled with their foreign customs, and apostatize from our own, lest we should leave off to honor our own God and should worship their gods. Keep it moving. But Solomon, watch this, was fallen headlong into unreasonable pleasures, and regarded not those admonitions. For when he had married 700 wives, the daughters and princes of eminent persons, and 300 concubines, and those beside the king of Egypt's daughter, he soon was governed by them till he came to imitate their practices. Same thing we doing today. We are imitating the practices of the other nations. I'm trying to tell y'all right here, he was forced to give them this demonstration of kindness and affection to them to live according to the laws of their countries. And as he grew into years and his reason became weaker by length of time, it was not sufficient to recall to his mind the institution of his own country. So he still more and more contemned his own God and continued to regard the gods that his marriages had introduced. Nay, before this happened, he sinned and fell into error about the observation of the laws when he made images of brazen oxen that supported the brazen sea, and the images of the lions about his own throne, which I already showed you, and that was in the Bible. If you know what the brazen sea is, it's when the temple was made. If you go look at the old tabernacle, they had, an oven or a little altar. They also had somewhere where the priest would wash. But Solomon put brazen oxen around the brazen sea. It was a big old thing where the priest would wash before they went inside the temple. But he put oxen out there or bulls out there. That's Molech, folks. That represents Molech. Baal, folks. Baal. Watch this. He made the images of brazen oxen that supported the brazen sea, and the images of the lions about his own throne. For these he made, although it was not agreeable to piety so to do, and he did glorious. And he knew. Hold on, just all these words got me. All right, here we go. And he knew what a glorious character he had left behind him because of his piety towards God. He's a whole nother person. Nor did he imitate his father David, although God had two times appeared to him in his sleep and exhorted him to imitate his father. Warn him. What did the Most High say to him? What did he say to David? Teach your son to obey the stuff as the laws as is commanded in the law of Moses, and his days will be lengthened, and he will be sitting on your throne. That's all of the men. And Yeshua gonna come sit on that same throne. What you think he gonna be doing? The laws, the statutes, the commandments. He gonna run the whole world by this stuff when he returns for the 1,000-year millennial reign. Watch this. So he died ingloriously. He did what? He died ingloriously. Therefore, there came a prophet to him who was sent by God and told him that his wicked actions were not concealed from God, and threatened him that he should not long rejoice in what he had done, that indeed the kingdom should be taken away from him while he was alive, should not be taken away from him while he was alive, because God had promised his father David that he will make him his successor, but that he would take care of that, that this should befall his son when he was dead. Not that he would withdraw all the people from him, but that he would give 10 tribes to the servant of his, which was Jeroboam, and leave only 2 tribes to David's grandson, who Rehoboam, for his sake, because he loved God, and for the sake of the city of Jerusalem, wherein he should have a temple. Most High told David, because of all of this stuff you do, I'm going to take it away from you. This is one of them women that he was headlong for. He did forsake his wisdom. He did, auntie. He did. But this Sheba right there, is that the real Sheba? No, it's just symbolic of her. But 1 Kings 10, 1 through 13. Let's look at Sheba. We over halfway done. And when the queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon concerning the name of the Most High, she came to prove him with hard questions. And she came to Jerusalem with a very great train and camels and bare spices and very much gold and precious stones. And when she was come to Solomon, she communed with him all that was in her heart. And Solomon told her all her questions, and told her all her questions. There was not anything hid from the king which he told her not. And when the queen of Sheba had seen all Solomon's wisdom and all the house that had been built, that he had built, and the meat of his table, and the sitting of his servants, and the attendance of his ministers, and their apparel, and his cupbearers, and his ascent by which he went up unto the house of the Lord, there was no more spirit in her. And she was like, this dude know all this. And she said to the king, it was a true report that I heard in mine own land of the acts of thy wisdom. Howbeit, I believed not the words until I came, and my eyes had seen it, and behold, the half of was not told. Thy wisdom and prosperity exceeded the fame which I heard. She said, man, it's even greater than what I thought. Happy are thy men, happy are these servants which stand continually before thee, and that hear thy wisdom. Blessed be the Lord thy God, which delighted in thee, to set thee on the throne of Israel, because the Lord loved Israel forever. Therefore, how long he loved Israel? Forever. It says, therefore made he made thee king to do judgment and to do what? Judgment and justice. What is the judgment and justice? This is the judgment and justice. And she gave the king 120 talents of gold and spices of every great store and precious stones. But Solomon, this is when he was still right. He was doing wisdom. He was doing righteousness, and folk were just giving him stuff. You do the same thing. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. We are walking and living a testimony of Bible prophecy. Oppression makes a wise man mad. Wow. Watch this. Watch this. And she gave him a whole bunch of stuff. I'm gonna skip down to last verse 13. And King Solomon gave the queen of Sheba all her desire, whatsoever she asked. Do boy, give it the tea. You can have whatever you like. And it says, and King Solomon gave the queen of Sheba all her desire, whatever she asked, besides that which Solomon gave her his royal bounty. So she turned and went to her own country, and she and her servants. But told you Solomon is the 666 comes from Solomon. I showed you a picture earlier with a ring with that star. They call it the Star of David. The Star of David. Ain't nowhere in the Bible talking about no Star of David. Where it come from? Nowhere in the Bible or in the Talmud. What's the Talmud? The Talmud is the traditions of the elders. That's the commentary. The Talmud is the commentaries on the Old Testament scriptures. But it says, however, the Bible does reference this to be the Star of Renfam belonging to Molech. Them 12 cows that Solomon put around the brazen sea, where the priest used to wash. And that star is really similar to the pagan, seven, whatever point star this stuff is. And you know, a lot of this stuff goes into the Kabbalah and a whole bunch of other Jewish mysticism. We don't get into all this stuff. But let's look at Acts chapter 7. Chapter 7. Then God turned and gave them up to the worship of the host of heaven. Who? All of the men in the world and that was in the world back in the day. He turned them up from the host of heaven. But what did he do? He chose Israel out of those men. But as it is written in the book of the prophets, O ye house of Israel, have ye offered to me slain beasts and sacrifices by the space of 40 years in the wilderness? Yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your God Renfam. Where did this stuff come from? This the 666 stuff. Which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you way beyond Babylon. We're not gonna. You can read the rest of this. No, I'm gonna read it. Our fathers had the tabernacle of the witness in the wilderness, as he appointed, speaking unto Moses, that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen. What he say? You make this stuff Moses, when you make this tabernacle, you make it to the fashion that you have seen, what I showed you in the mount, just like it is in heaven. Solomon added. I'm just trying to say. They took up the tabernacle of Molech too. Sometimes wisdom, you get so wise and you got so much power, you got so much stuff, it corrupts you. Watch this. Which also our fathers that had come after brought in with Yeshua into possession of the Gentiles, whom God drave out before the face of our fathers until the days of David, who found favor before God and desired to find a tabernacle for God of Jacob. But Solomon built him a house. Howbeit, the Most High, what did he say? The Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands. That's the prophet. As said the prophet, heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, saith the Lord? Or what is the place of my rest? Even though Solomon built that great place, He got a better temple. You supposed to be his temple right now, where his spirit and word dwells. Amos 5:26-27. Because again, that Molech, but ye have borne the tabernacle of your Molech, and chew in your image is the star of your God, which ye made to yourselves. Therefore will I cause you to go into captivity beyond Damascus, said the Lord, whose name is the God of hosts, or the Lord of hosts. Let's keep it moving. We almost done. Watch this. What we see? They took up the Molech star. Where it come from? 1 Kings 11, 4-10. We already read verses 1-4 earlier, but now 1-4. Now we 4-10. Watch this. For it came to pass when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart, just like it said in Josephus, after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord. Go watch our perfection class. As was the heart of David his father. So what you think his other son Yeshua, what you think his heart gonna be like? It's perfect with the Lord as well. For Solomon went after Ashtaroth, the god of the Zidonians, and after Milcah, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord. That's what we doing today. Sunday Christians today, they're not going fully after the Most High, as did David, their father, his father. Then Solomon, watch what Solomon did. Then Solomon built a high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab. That's why he said, don't marry no Moabites. In the hill that is before Jerusalem. And for Molech. That's the one we just saw, Molech, the star of Molech. Solomon built this stuff. The abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he for all his strange wives burn incense and sacrifice unto their gods. And the Most High was angry with Solomon, because his heart had turned from the Lord of Israel, which had appeared to him twice, just like the book of Josephus said, and had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which the Lord commanded. But what did all this stuff that Solomon got into, where did it come from? The first beast, Babylon. But let's look at the real king. King Yeshua. King Yehoshua. Some say Yahushua. Some say Jesus. Some say Yeshua. But let's keep it moving. Let's look at him. He's wiser than Solomon. Watch this. Matthew 12:38-42. Then certain scribes and Pharisees answered, saying, Master, we would see a sign from thee. But he answered and said unto them, an evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall be no sign given to it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas, or Jonah. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly's well, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the earth. Easter, Friday to Sunday. I'm going to need them 3 days, and I'm going to need them 3 nights. It says, the men of Nineveh shall rise in the judgment with this generation, and shall condemn it, because they repented at the preaching of Jonas. And behold, a greater than Jonas is here. The queen of the south shall rise up. Who we talking about? Sheba. And the queen of the south shall rise up in the judgment with this generation, and shall condemn it. For she came from the uttermost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon. But watch what Yeshua said. And behold, a greater than Solomon is here. He said, I'm greater than Solomon. Y'all worshiping this temple right here. that great and magnificent house that Solomon built up. Guess what Yeshua said? I'm going to tear it down. Luke 21:5-6. And some spake of the temple, how it was adorned with godly stones and gifts. And Yeshua said, as for these things which ye behold, the days will come in which there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be. I'm going to tear it down. Oh, she said, an overly unbalanced says of EJ. She says, an overly perceptive man keeps no friends. He was too wise for his own good. He sure was. It sure was. But that same house, Yeshua tore it down in 70 AD by the hands of the Romans. Antiquities 8.3.2. Let's look at some. We don't read that much of Josephus right here, but watch this, because to show you that this place that Yeshua said he gonna tear down, let's look at it. Now there, watch this. Now therefore the king laid the foundations of the temple very deep in the ground, and the materials were strong stones, as such as would resist the force of time. These were to unite themselves with the earth and become the basis and a sure foundation for a superstructure which was to be erected over it. They were to be so strong in order to sustain with ease those vast superstructures and precious ornaments, whose own weight was to be not less than the weight of those other high and heavy buildings which the king designed to be ornamented and magnificent. Yeshua said, I'm gonna tear it down. He said, not one stone. You see how strong they said these stones was? And because of disobedience, the Most High tore it down. Revelations 19, 11 and 14. Watch this. Yeshua, Solomon stored up horses. Yeshua gonna share his horses. Revelation 19, 11 and 14. It says, and I saw heaven, John said, I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. Skip to verse 14. And the armies which were in heaven follow him upon the white horses. Share his horses. But what were they clothed with? Fine linen, white and clean. Go watch our video, how to wash your garments. Many mansions are in Yeshua's father's house. Watch this. In my father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would not have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. While he preparing the place, you should be occupying the time. You should be keeping his commandments, sharing his commandments with other people, showing people, look, stop this Babylon system. Cut it out. All of this is the beast. Watch this. Antiquities 8.5.2, because what did it just say? A lot of houses in Yeshua's daddy's house. You got one waiting for you, coming out the sky for you. Now it's very hard. This is Antiquities. Hey, back to Josephus. We almost done. Now it is very hard to reckon upon the magnitude and the variety of the royal apartments. How many rooms there were of the largest sorts, how many of the bigness inferior to those, and how many that were subterraneous and invisible. The curiosity of those that enjoyed the fresh air and the groves for the most delightful prospect, for avoiding the heat and covering of their bodies. And to say all in brief, Solomon made the whole building entirety of white stone. White stone. Yeshua, mighty funny. Go watch our the heavenly manna class, and when Yeshua said he gonna give everybody a white stone. Oh man, let me stop. And cedar wood and gold and silver. He also adorned the roofs and walls with stones set in gold, and beautified them thereby in the same manner as he had beautified the temple of God with like stones. He also made himself a throne of prestigious bigness of ivory, constructed as a justice seat, and having 6 steps, and on every one of which stood on each end of the step 2 lions. 2 other what did he do? Most High tore that up. He tore up the temple and he tore up Solomon's house. But at the top it said there was a variety of royal apartments. Tore it up. Why? Disobedience. Yeshua always does what his father says. His David and the heavenly Father. Watch this, John 8:29. And this is Christ. He said, and he that sent me is with me. He said, the Most High with me. The Father hath not left me alone, for what he say? For I do always those things that please him, that delight him. Go watch our Delight of the Lord class. Woo! With sister 3 Erica 112, 3 Rika 112. Watch that video. I thank her for watching that video, supporting the ministry, because we're trying to get this truth out to everybody. I told you this quarantine has been for the ministry. Personally, we went from 9 subscribers 20-something videos. We got 80-something videos up here now. It's to educate the believer, Get yourself out of this world system. Come out of her, my people. Watch this. He said, for I always do those things that please him. What Christ do? He always does the things that please him. The same things that's written in the law of Moses, like David commanded his son. And David commanded his son what the Most High told him. Let's skip to John 5:19 through 20. Watch this. Then answered Yeshua and said to them, verily, verily, or most assuredly, truly, truly, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father do. What? What did Christ do when he was here? The commandments. For what things soever he doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise. Every Christian and every so-called follower of Christ on the face of earth admits, yeah, Christ did the law perfect. But he said, I only do what I see him do. I'm telling you, the earth shall mirror heaven. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, thy word be done on earth. What? Just as it is in heaven. Reading the Lord's Prayer all the time, but we skipping all over that. So-called Lord's Prayer. He said, when you pray, pray like this. It should be the disciples' prayer. But anyway, the real Lord's Prayer is John chapter 17. That's what, go read John chapter, whole chapter, John 17. That's what I call the Lord's Prayer. John 5:20, for the Father loveth the Son and showeth him all things that himself doeth. What? If you still saying we ain't got to keep no commandments and you listen to this class, ain't no help for you. Ain't no help for you. And he will show him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. Watch this. Watch this. Everything in Yeshua's kingdom is free. And his gold is free. You know, gold is not a real, these just a pack of playing cards, folks. Don't be thinking Brother Ronnie got gold in here trying to bust his head. But everything is free in his kingdom. His gold free too. Let's go to Revelation 3:18. It says, he says, I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire. What gold he talking about? He talking about the word, y'all. That thou mayest be what? Rich and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, or your sin. And anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. These scriptures are our eye salve, folks. Ho! Isaiah 55:1. Ho! Everyone that, and he ain't cussing, it's a ho. Ho! Everyone that thirsteth, come to the waters. And he that hath no money, come ye, buy and eat. Yea, come buy wine and milk. Wine, Yeshua. Now, what you selling wine for? I see you. I see your other auntie, sister auntie. I see you. He said, ho! What he say? He said, come buy and eat. Ye come buy wine and milk. Wine and milk without money and without price is free. These preachers out here selling the word today. It's free. Everything at Rap Ministry is free. You come to us when we have assemblies. You come to us and food free. Everything is free. I'm trying to tell you, folks. So what is the mark of the beast? I'm going to tell you what it is, because Revelation 13:18 tells you. We in single digits. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding, what? Count the number of the beast. Count. Go back and count all of them. Go back there and count all of the men in the Bible. And when you get to the 666 man in the King James Bible, it'll be Solomon. For it is the number of a man. It's a number of a who? A man. And his number is 666. But he said, here is wisdom. What is it? The fear of the Lord is wisdom. If you understand the commandments, you will know who he's talking about. Who calls God's kingdom? If Solomon had not disobeyed the Most High, when Christ came, oh my goodness. Eventually, Christ would have came and just set up the kingdom. I'm just trying to tell you. Let me keep it moving. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Proverbs 9 and 10 said, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. The knowledge of what's holy is set apart word. We read this already, but he says, fear not. We'll skip to verse 20. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for God is come to prove you that his fear may be upon you. Deuteronomy 10, what does he require? Fear. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? To fear. That's what he requires, fear. Keeping his command. What? But it defines it. That it says, and now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee but to fear the Lord thy God, to do what? Walk in his ways, all his ways, and to love him and to serve him thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command ye this day for your good, not your evil. But let's go to Revelation. What's the mark? What's the mark? Revelation 14, 8 through 13, and we only have 6 more after this. It says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is, watch this, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen. That's the first beast that Rome resurrected. And that's the first beast that Nimrod started. David and Joshua got rid of them, got rid of the remnants of them when they took the land of Canaan, and they start and Israel grew and everything, and then Solomon ended up being the king, and Solomon took them right back to Babylon. We saw he set up the abominations of Ammon, the abomination of the Zidonians, and Molech, high places to Molech. He brought it back to them, and Rome has brought it back to us today. You do not want to miss the Halloween class. You do not want to miss that. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. When you participating in pagan days, the Most High looks at it as fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, what? That system and his image, which is going to be a guy that's going to come. I don't know who he is. He's going to come. That guy is going to come here, because the Most High also has an image, which is Yeshua. He's the image of the invisible God. So what you think the devil kingdom got to have? He going to have an image too. We don't know who he is, but he coming. But watch this. If any man worship the beast and his image, the beast and his Christ, how do you do you and receive his mark in their forehead or hand in their forehead? We showed you the mark of God is just doing his commandments. I'm telling you, the mark is what you thinking, what's in your heart, and what you do. The same, but watch this. The shame shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever. And they shall have no rest, what? Day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. What's his name? What's the Most High's name? He had a name written that no man knew except God, except he himself. And he had a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. What's the mark of the beast's name? The word of Satan. Don't receive Satan's word. Who is his word? The Antichrist going to be speaking opposite of whatever Christ has said, or whatever the Most High has said. It says, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that what? Here is the patience, long suffering of the saints. Here are they that what? Keep the commandments of God and A-N-D, in conjunction with, in addition to, commandments and faith in Yeshua. All praises, Sister Sheila. All praises to the Most High. It says, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandment. You said keep. What's that word say? That word is tareo, to keep, to guard, to keep in the state that it is in, to set a military fortress around. You got to protect the Most High's commandments, folks. Today they gone. And I heard a voice from heaven saying to me, write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, said the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, their works, rest from their labors, their sinful works, and their works, their good works, follow them. You rest from the evil work, and your new good works, what's the works? Whatever he told you to do, they follow you. Watch this. Watch this, because I'm telling you, the mark of God should be on your forehead, and in your right hand as well. Watch this. This the Shema. This what's supposed to be outside your door. Shema. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might, with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your might. Listen, all your might. And these words which I command this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest down in thine house, and when thou walkest up by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. You're supposed to be teaching your children this. Stop letting them watch MTV, BET, all this old crazy stuff, and they ain't getting none of the Most High's word. I sat mine down at the table the other day. I don't play. I don't play. I'm going to put it in them. When they leave away from me, they can do what they want. Hopefully they do what the Most High say. I got 4 of them. Oldest one 10, youngest one about to turn 2. I got 8 to 16 years to put it in them. And hopefully they will follow. It says, and thou shalt bind them for. So if your kids didn't went to, it ain't your fault. Your kid, David's son went wild. King David. Why? What make you think yours can't? And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be frontlets between. Bind them for a sign on your hand, and in the frontlets of your eyes. The mark of God should be, if you got the mark of God, when them evil entities come, well, not evil, when they come from the Most High and rendering punishment on the earth, they won't mess with you because you got the right mark. You got the right one, baby. Matthew 8. Watch this. Watch this. That's what it is. What you say, Yeshua? Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. He said, but I say to you, whosoever looketh on a man to lust after her, have committed adultery with her in his heart. And if thy right hand offend thee, take it out. Where's your, because guess how stuff get in you? Through your eye gate and your ear gate. Your eye gate and your ear gate. And both of them are what? In your head, folks. And if thy eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that the whole body should be cast into hell. And if thy right hand offend thee, don't sin with your eyes in your hand, with your head in your hand, folks. Let me keep it moving. We almost done. We got 3 left. Ecclesiastes 12, 9, 7. The man who this 666 is closely related to. Disobedience, not keeping commandments. Because when we just saw Yeshua said, here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that what? Here are they that do the commandments and keep the faith of Yeshua. But he just got through finishing saying that the other people. Well, let's go back to it. Let's go back. Ain't gonna be no guesswork. Right here. When Babylon fell, in verse 8, it says, verse 9, it says, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive the mark in his forehead or his hand. But then you get down here, but he said, but here's the patience of the saints that keep the command. So if you keep the commandments in the faith of Yeshua, what's the opposite? It's the 666 stuff. Disobedience, commandment breaking. Let me keep it moving, man. Let me keep it moving. Now, the man that this stuff is associated with, this is after he knew what was going to happen to him. He wrote Ecclesiastes. Let's see what he said. That should be 7 through 14, not 9 through 14. I'm only human. Almost done. I'm almost done. Yeah, thumb it up. I only see 5 likes, man. Thumb that thing up, people. Let me refresh the screen. It might be a little bit He said, let me see. Thumb it. Oh, 9 thumbs up. Hey, that's more like it. All right, but hold on. He wrote this after he had the kingdom was he learned the news that the kingdom was going to be taken away from him. Solomon said, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. When you die, you go back to the dust, your spirit go back. But where your soul at? 1 or 2 places. Vanities of vanity, said the preacher. All is vanity. All is vanity. Everything we chasing, cars, women, houses, clothes, this, that, and the other, is all vanity, folks. I ain't seen nobody. I done been to funerals, then presided over funerals. I ain't seen nobody take that Cadillac to heaven with them. I ain't seen nobody take or to the afterlife with them. No big houses. Their house still there. Matter of fact, they willed it to somebody else. You don't take that stuff. Don't go with you. It's all vanity. And moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yea, he gave good heed and sought out and set in order many proverbs. The preacher sought to find out acceptable words. He talking about himself. And that which was written was upright, even words of truth. The words of the wise are as golds, as nails fastened by the masters of assemblies, which are given from one, which are what? Which are given, the words of the, which are given from what? One shepherd. Who is that shepherd? Christ said, I'm the good shepherd. Let us hear the conclusion. He said, hold on. Verse 12. And further, by these, my son, be admonished. Of making many books, there is no end. And much study is a weariness of flesh. Tell me about it. Sometimes your flesh don't want to study. But he said, Solomon said, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty. This is the whole duty that we fear God. It's the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Same thing Yeshua said in chapter 22 of Revelation. But it's the whole duty of who? To fear. Our whole duty is to fear God and keep his commandments. It's the whole duty of what? Man. Guess what that word man is in the Hebrew? Adam. All the way to the full circle to the beginning. That man disobeyed too. But Yeshua is the second Adam, as Corinthians call him. He's the second Adam who came to do God's will completely, to prove the devil wrong. A man can do it. He hungered and thirsted like we did. Got tired like we did. Sleeping. Saw him on the boat sleep. He ain't have no advantage over us. You can do it too. By what? Following his example. Man, that word man in the Hebrew, the Hebrew word is Adam. Adam. It says man, mankind, man, human being, man, mankind, Adam, first man, city in Jordan Valley, ready, a human being, ready. Even Adam was ready. I'm just saying, man. I'm just a brother running. Ain't around here lying to y'all. Thank somebody just subbed to the channel. Thank you, whoever just subbed to the channel. 77. Up to went from 9 to 77. Some people, that ain't hardly nothing. Shoot. Do you know how long I've been putting videos up and only had 9? Watch this. But I'm gonna tell you, this mark goes even back to who? Cain. Go watch our video, The Way of Cain. You will get a whole lot of understanding about this. Genesis 4:15. We only got one more after this. And the Lord, this is Lord talking to Cain. Genesis 4:15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And what the Most High do? He set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. But the key is, it was a mark set upon him. A mark. If you go watch, if you just read Josephus, if you go read the book of Jasher, you will see what kind of man Cain was. Cain was after riches. I promise. Please Go watch The Way of Cain. It's way on back in the archives. Go watch just type in Rap Ministries 30711 The Way of Cain. It'll pull up. You will get greater understanding. Cain was a man after possession. His name Cain means possessions. He was after possessions. The Bible said, Josephus said he was one of the evilest men to walk on the face of the earth. He had the mark. But watch this. Jude know about it too. Let's go to Jude 1:3 through 4, and then we skip to verse 11. Go back to Cain. Beloved, and Cain is of the devil. Watch this, beloved. When I gave all diligence to write unto you the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith, which was once delivered unto the saints. For there, he said, watch this. But what he tell you do? Contend for the faith. For there are certain men crept in unawares who were before of old ordained. New King James says, marked. What? Marked. NSRV says these men were written about. Written, same thing, marked, inscribed to his condemnation. Ungodly men, what they do? They turn the grace of our Lord into lasciviousness or a license or lewdness, a license to sin. We under grace. And denying the only Lord God and our Lord. How they deny Christ? When they tell you can keep sinning because you under grace, you're denying the Lord, who is the word, who is the living commandment. But woe unto them. What? What have they done, Jude? They have gone the way of Cain, or the way of the marked one, the one that got the mark, and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward, after riches and money, and perished in the gainsaying of Korah. Go, I admonish you, go watch The Way of Cain, class. It'll open your eyes to the whole. I'm trying to tell you. But let me keep it moving. Because we just got through. Oh, let me read this mark in Genesis 4:15. A distinguishing mark. Will you have the distinguishing mark of God on your forehead and in your hand? Or will you have that distinguishing 666 commandment breaking in your forehead and in your hand? It's left up to you. Follow Yeshua. Believe in him. John 10:10 through 14. The thief cometh not but for to what? Steal. To kill. Same thing Cain was doing. Go read it. It's all there for you. Go watch The Way of Cain. The thief coming not but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Same thing Cain was doing. I am come that they may have what? Life, and that they may have it more abundantly. For I am the what? He said, I am the good shepherd. Hold on. What does it say down here? The words of the wise. What words? The 10 Commandments. Which are given from what? One shepherd. Who are you talking about? Christ. So when we go here, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep, but he that is a hireling and not the shepherd, whose own sheep are not. See the wolf coming. I see the wolf coming. And this shepherd right here, my job is to protect the sheep. But like Denzel say, to protect the sheep, you got to kill the wolf. You got to kill the wolf. It says, whose own sheep are not. See if the wolf coming and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth, and the wolf catcheth them and scattereth the sheep. A lot of people fed up with church. They just out of church. They see that it's a scam. They out. Don't know where to go. They just go on TV, go on YouTube. But the hireling, he fleeth because he is a hireling, because he just after the money, and careth not for the sheep. I am the good shepherd, and my sheep and know my sheep, and am known of mine. Do you know his voice? What's his voice? That word. Brothers and sisters, don't take that mark. Don't be a ball of fire like Solomon was, but then in the end, he lost it all. What profit, the Bible said, what profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his soul? Huh? Brothers and sisters, that is the Solomon and the 666 connection. And I saw a lot of people come. And I said, boy, everybody was on time today. But when you throw that 666 up there, folks, you got their ear. You got their ear. But that's part of it, guys. Disobedience, not keeping commandments. That is not keeping commandments. Thank all of y'all for joining us today. Everybody, new people, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Continue to join us. We're gonna have a lesson for you every week until the master return or until they shut the internet off. But I just thank you guys. I love you. I'm praying for each and every last one, and you just don't believe. I'll be praying for you. Ask my wife. Well, she don't hear me praying all the time. But sometimes I don't go to bed at 12:45, 1 a.m. Then got to wake up 5:30, 6 o'clock to go to work. Studying and praying and studying. You should be doing it too. But thank you guys. Pray for me. Pray for me, my strength in the Most High, that I'm able to sustain and keep doing these things. Pray for wisdom. Pray for growth of the ministry. I promise you, we're going to go places. We're going to go places. All right, guys. Cincinnati in the Ohio in the house. All right. Auntie, I see you too. All praises to the Most High. Both aunties, see you. I thank you. Got Cincinnati in the house, Ohio, and you never know, Brother Ronnie might be in a town near you real soon. Got something? I was telling my wife about a conversion van that I got my eye on. I said we might have to hit the road, go get some, go rent out some hotel conference room and have gatherings all over the United States. You know, all over. I might be in a city near you soon, folks. Shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. And with that said, guys, if you want to donate, rapministries.net, no pressure. If you want to, you don't have to. But I'll see you this Wednesday. Have a great Sabbath day. Peace and blessings. Shalom. Hallelujah.